episodes about getting a hard line for the vacuum line from the intake manifold to the brake booster and installing a fuel system. I had to think about different ways. Did talk to Sterling what he used on his, and he basically pointed me to a JEGS 15-gallon fuel cell. So that seems to work out well. Lose all my trunk space, but that's a small price to pay to get something that works. So let's get into it and show you all the pieces and how I got it put together. One nice thing about the brake flaring tool is that it has a 1/2-inch die that allows me to put a dimple on the end of the 1/2-inch aluminum line, so when I put the hoses on there, it has something to keep it from slipping off. So using the 1/2-inch aluminum line, I was able to connect it to the vacuum port on the intake manifold and then route it down into the tunnel. Okay, ran the 1/2-inch aluminum line down from the vacuum on the intake manifold along with the power steering lines and brake lines, and it comes up here, goes up there to the brake booster, and it comes out here and connects to the brake booster. So I used the aluminum line as opposed to flexible line because it is a very long run, and this should work out really well. Okay, the body removal problem. In an earlier episode, when I was taking the body off, this particular structure prevented me from getting the body off. So I need to be able to fasten it back on once the body is on. Now, the gas tank is going to go right there, and learned from Sterling that you don't want to do a lot of welding around the gas tank. So I got to come up with a way of actually somehow bolting this on so it can be put back in place once the body is on. So that's my next challenge. So I think I can put some tabs down here on these bars to put it in, and then maybe fabricate a bracket here that I could just bolt it together. So let's see what I can come up with. Okay, here's my solution for the removable front end. So I can put the body back on, then bolt it on. Basically put a flange on either side, and then down here, tabs that are bolted to the supports, and then another tab over here. So that will allow me to remove it, put the body on, and then install it with the body on. So just need to take it off and paint it up. I got the front clip for the body all painted and put back on. So now I can just remove it when I want to go put the body on. I'm using two different types of fuel line, or 6AN line. The stainless steel and a nylon covered one. It still has stainless steel on the inside. I have found that the black one is a little easier for the fitting to go on. If you use it on the stainless steel one, those barbs are really sharp. So I've been successful with both of them, but the nylon covered one seems to be a little easier to use. The OEM Lamborghini actually have two gas tanks. One sits here, one on the other side. I considered fabricating two tanks, but then on this side over here, I have some plumbing in there, which is going to, as well as my ECU, so there isn't a lot of space. Now on the Diablo, this location was where the battery was stored. And if I put the battery there, the radiator will be in the way of getting it out. Plus you're going to have a fender well here. It's going to make it difficult. So I relocated the battery here, and I thought that would work out pretty well, but then I realized I don't have a windshield washer or a windshield motor in there yet, so that may be another problem to resolve. Here's my 15-gallon tank from Jegs. Comes with the fuel sensor lens with the fuel level sensor already built in. Easy fill cap. This is the return line from the fuel pressure regulator. And this is the vent line for the tank. Now let's look at the components. Right, from the tank we have a 10 AN fitting coming out into a 100 micron fuel filter that goes into a Walbro 255 electronic fuel pump that goes into the fuel pressure regulator. And from the fuel pressure regulator, that goes up to the fuel rail. Now the second line right here, this is the return line from the fuel pressure regulator that goes back to the tank. So I think it turned out pretty good. We'll see how it goes later on when I actually try to start the engine. Okay, hose from the fuel pressure regulator up to the fuel rail. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would, and be sure and turn on your post notifications. Thank you for watching.